Yeah, we talked about it on Encore on Monday night, and like Brandon and I have been saying for a long time now, I think it was time to bring the full ARCA Menard series here because the East Series has struggled for car counts pretty consistently. Even back when it was still under the NASCAR K&N banner, I think the last year that was what the series was called was 2019. They had 13 cars show up to this race. So even before ARCA took over East and West, it's been struggling on the car count side a little bit. So bringing the entire ARCA series here of a national tour to Dover, I think was the right move, making this combo race with ARCA East. And I have to say, a pretty good race. A little bit of controversy with how Connor Zilic pulled off the win. I'm sure Williams Walsh wasn't too happy, but both of them are incredibly talented young drivers. I think have a bright career ahead of them in ARCA, and then we'll ideally see them move up to the National NASCAR Series here in just a couple of years. In terms of Amber Balcaen, like you mentioned, Amanda, it was a very disappointing result for her because I think she was running relatively well before she had that accident, and unfortunately picked up a foot injury in that crash as well. It was very hard contact. She did everything she could to avoid Christian Rose, who got into the wall coming off at turn 4, and in doing so, because of how steeply banked the track is, even on the straightaways, caused her car to spin, hit the inside wall, and unfortunately injured her a little bit as well. But at the moment, NASCAR has cleared her to run this weekend at Kansas, so that'll be good to see. Obviously, she won't be 100%. She said on X/Twitter, but she's going to be using the clutch a little bit more than the brakes to try to help alleviate the foot injury that she has right now. But hopefully it doesn't cause her too much discomfort and she can go out and have as normal of a race weekend as possible here. And, we'll get into her teammate Toni Breidinger here in just a moment. But, yeah, unfortunately not a great day for the 3 female drivers in this Dover race here, but that's the business of motorsport sometimes.
Yeah, wishing her a speedy recovery, obviously. And like you mentioned, her teammate, Toni Breidinger, was running in the top 10 until an incident where exiting turn 4, she wasn't able to clear Chris Wright, and both ended up making contact. She managed to finish 15th while being 13 laps down. Was this a mistake by the spotter or simply hard racing at Dover where the momentum carries the cars towards the wall?
It's tough for me to judge because I think, certainly in a teammate situation, you don't want to be, racing that hard with that many laps to go in the race necessarily. And it's unfortunate that they came together. But Toni herself said on her X/Twitter account, made a mistake last night. So I guess in even her view, it was a mistake on the driver's part, which is unfortunate. And again, it's easy to do at a track like Dover. The speeds that these cars are carrying, I mean, it catches some Cup drivers off guard sometimes. Let alone ARCA drivers who are still trying to gain all the experience that they can. So, like you mentioned, it was unfortunate because she did have a good top 10 run going. She was battling with her teammate, Chris Wright, for position there. Unfortunately, just misjudged it slightly, and she came away with significantly more damage than he did and ended up falling down to 15th there at the end of the race. But, again, I think, like I've talked about on the show consistently for the last year, I think Breidinger's pace in terms of, where she's able to run in these races has noticeably improved over the last couple of years, and this was no exception here at Dover. So we'll see going back into the track where she had her career best to date, a 3rd-place finish here last fall. Hopefully she can rebound from this and carry that momentum from last fall forward to Kansas this upcoming weekend.